Yo, you want those leads? I got those leads for you, man. I got those leads. Hey, look, you can generate your own leads with HubSpot, but a key component to that is knowing how to use the Forms tool and the things inside of it. That's why in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to build a form and the functionality. Let's get into this. Hey, remember, if you need education past this tutorial, check the description. That's what we do, workshops and monthly training here at Impulse Creative. Let's go ahead and dive into the portal and get you going. So as you can see, we are in HubSpot and we need to create a form because we either need a new form for one of our inbound marketing campaigns, or we're brand new to HubSpot and we're trying to replace something like Gravity Forms or Ninja Forms or whatever form system we're currently using on our site. So let's go ahead and head over to marketing, and under marketing, you're going to see a section called lead capture, and under lead capture, there it is, the promised land, or at least the place where we can create forms. So we're going to create forms. Once that loads, we're going to be able to go ahead and hit this button at the top right, which is create new form. Now, immediately they're going to ask you to name your forms. So in this case, we're going to name it George Speaker Form because we're going to be adding this to the George B. Thomas speaker page for people who want to have me come out and talk to their audiences. So we'll hit create form, and then you're going to see the HubSpot drag and drop form, massive, crazy, cool system here. At the top, you're going to see where we have the name of our form. If we wanted to rename that, we could go ahead and click in there and rename. We're going to see that we have form, options, and preview here. If we click in options, we're going to see things like displaying a thank you message versus redirecting to another page. Folks, I would always suggest that we redirect to another page because then we can give them other relevant call to actions. We can let them know videos they could watch or blog articles they could read. In other words, we're always going to take them to the next step. This whole inline thank you page, well, in my honest opinion, it's meh. All right, so we'll continue down and you'll see that we can have follow-up options. We can send submission email notifications, form error language. We can set the cookie tracking to be on or off, and we can pre-populate fields with known values. Now, the cookie tracking, if you are at a location like a trade show or somewhere where it's going to be the same IP address over and over and over, make sure you turn this off. If you want to make it easier on your users, then they have to type in less, make sure this pre-populate fields is on. But anyway, you're also going to be able to click on preview here, and you'll be able to see that you can preview your form on a desktop, a tablet, or even a mobile device to see what it's going to look like. But now let's go ahead and go back to form. And to create the form, it's actually pretty easy. We can go ahead and search for a field that we want. So right now we have first name, last name, email. Let's go ahead and look for the elusive job title. And you can see as we start to type it in here, we've got job title, and we can just click and drag and drop. And as we go to drop this over, you see that there are these kind of dotted lined boxes that happen. What this means is these are areas that we can drop the form field. So if I wanted to drop the form field below email, I can just simply get that so it's highlighted, and then I can drop it in there. Now, if I select any of these that are already in the form builder and start to drag them, notice how those boxes show up again. And in this case, I'm going to come over to the right hand side and I'm going to drop it in there, and you can see now what happens is last name, first name. Whoa, that's not going to work. Let's go ahead and drag that over and drop this here. So we've got first name, last name, email, and job title in here. Now, if you are searching for a field and you can't find it, you can always create a new one, but that's a whole new tutorial, how to create a custom field inside of your form builder. But in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and say, this is how we want our form. We've gone through and set the options. We've previewed and we love it. We can do some type of action like share a form, view submissions, export submissions, create list from contacts. We always want to do that when we're creating a list. So we'll go ahead and create a list. It'll open up a new tab. We will name the list. Notice it already gives us the rules that we want to use, but that's also a different tutorial. Oh my gosh. So let's go ahead and head back here. And you can see that we have a save button that we can save, and we've got a publish button where we can publish it. I do want to go over one more thing that I think is really important inside of the form builder, and that is that you can do queued progressive fields, meaning once they've answered first name, last name, email, job title, maybe we want them to answer some other questions. So for instance, I might put in something like company name. So I'll come in here and I'll drag company name down, but now how do I know when to replace company name? Well, I can come up here and I can click on the pencil for job title. And notice when I do that, I get the label, I get some help text that I can fill out, I get a placeholder text, a default value, leave field on the form, progressive field options. So this is progressive fields. Here's the option. I don't want to leave this field on the page. I can actually drop this down and look, replace with queued progressive field. And so I'm going to go ahead and select that. Now, when I know the job title, instead of asking that for the 17th time, the company name will come up there in place and I'll get some new data. Now, while we're in here, look at this. We've also got make this field required. We won't do that on this one, and make this field hidden. Yes, folks, you can do hidden fields in here. So if you wanted to, let's say, have a boat model or a car model or some type of information that you're passing along in a hidden field and nobody knows, just based on the page or things on the page, you can do that. Another little nugget that we probably should mention before we leave this tutorial is the fact that you can do dependent form fields. And a use case for that might actually be going back to here and searching for persona. So you can see I have persona and I can drag that in just like I have previously. But what if somebody answers my persona question in a certain way? I may want to actually ask them a set of different questions. So I'm going to go ahead and open this dependent form field, and notice, because I have persona selected, if it contains any of, or contains none of, or is not empty, I can actually say, hey, if they say they're a CEO, or multiple, I could say CEO or salesperson. In this case, I'm just going to say CEO. Then go ahead and show this field, and I can search any default HubSpot properties or custom properties that I may have in the system. So for instance, if they're a CEO, I might ask them website URL. Now, I'm definitely going to ask them a little bit deeper question than that, but hey, this is just a tutorial. This is just so you can see that you could add this, and then yes, under persona, you're going to be able to see this dependent form field, and you can actually add a couple different questions that you would want to ask per answer that they could give you. And then look at this, close dependent fields. We can actually close those up or open those up if we want this editor to be easier to use. A lot of this can be kind of closed up and simplified, if you will, instead of leaving it open and making it difficult to understand what you're trying to do. Anyway, this is a really easy first step in building your forms. It's drag and drop. It's hovering over these pencils. It's editing the things that you want, like making, first name and last name required. Maybe that might be a good thing. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Once you're ready, you just hit that stinking save button. You might not even need to do that. You could just hit that stinking publish button. So as you can see, generating leads with HubSpot and the Forms tool, it's that simple. It's that easy. But hey, do me a favor, make sure you ask the right questions. Make sure you treat these leads like contacts like humans, because they need sold to, market to, and serviced in a human way. Look, as always, this is your boy George B from Impulse Creative saying happy HubSpotting. Oh yeah, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for instant notifications, or do one of these things.